G'day, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome. The Ultima, it's finally finished. The Ultima project that I've been dragging my feet on for a couple of months now. Anyway, it's done. So yeah, it's looking all pretty good. I think anyway. And if you saw a couple of my last videos where I spoke about the big wing, well, that's him. So I think it's a love it or hate it type thing. But I sort of hated it at first. I wanted it way lower. But I think it looks pretty good now, so I'm just going to leave it that way. Yeah, so we'll get going and go through the steps I took to paint the body. And there's some bolts, screws and washers and stuff I wanted to go over. I had a question about, you know, what screws I was using and washers and things. So I'll go through them too. So let's get on to it. Now, if you saw my last video, I had to tidy up the wiring. So that's all done. It's looking pretty neat now. Moving on to the screws. Throughout the car I replaced a lot of the Phillips type screws with countersunk hex type screws in like the M3 and the M4, and I used the countersunk washers, also M3s and M4s, and there was a couple of places where I used 2.5mm gold aluminium screws. Those ones you see at the top there. They're for like the wing mount and the rear stabilizer brackets. Those little plastic things on the back of the rear shock tower that hold the stabilizer in place. And as you can see here, I've already started on the paint. I started by doing the roll cage area with some silver, just with a brush, and used a little bit of black paint where the welds on the cage are, just to try and make it look a bit more realistic. Then I masked up the front window, well, the bottom of it anyway, and just brushed some black on there. And after that I went around and finished the rest of the windows. And yeah, once that was dry I started taping up the front there for the design that I wanted, which is kind of a, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s type of feel to it. So then from there I mixed up some black in the airbrush and just trying to make a shadow behind the masking there. Yeah, it worked reasonably well. The airbrush was spitting and carrying on a bit, but you get that. So now I've gone and laid the blue down and removed the masking from the front end there. So now we can hit it with some fluoro green in the front, fading into fluoro yellow. Then I went and backed the whole lot with white to, you know, make it pop. Then I went on and painted the inside of the carbon parts I made there for the wing and the underneath of the wing. Then it was time to stick the wing washers on, so the make it a little bit stronger and the body pins won't scratch up the body so much. So yeah, I taped them on and actually put epoxy under them first, epoxy resin, and then taped them on to dry. Same thing with the sides of the wing there. I just used epoxy to hold them on, and then I could go and play Star Wars with it. After all the epoxy and stuff was dry, I got to fit the body up, make sure everything's right, and then we can move on to cutting out decals and sticking them on. So for the decals I used a mixture of MCI decals and some leftover original Ultima stickers there, and a Proline sticker, and some more MCI decals. And I stole a couple out of my Optima box as well. Now we've all seen decals applied, so we'll just skip to the finished product. it, guys. Hopefully you liked it, and yeah, maybe it gave you some ideas during the build process, you know, how to make your own shock towers and whatever. So that's it. Then next up we'll probably give it a run, maybe in a park or something, on a footy oval. And so I don't really want to run it too much on gravel and stuff, you know, go and scratch up the chassis. It's got a few scratches here and there anyway, but you know, I don't want it any worse. Alright, well that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, subscribe, that'd be great. And yeah, see you on the next video.